Unicorn 1. Last roll of bits. Clean kills, no shoot.
Starburst copies, Unicorn 1. Contact killed. Return to cap.
Welcome.
Gargoyle 1, and you got visual.
So why did they make this gun sight? I mean, we saw a perfectly serviceable one in SF2 on a number of planes, which projected a dot we needed to put over an enemy. Apparently the problem is that the position of that single dot is calculated with a little delay. And if you go up against a jinking target, you are in fact guaranteed to miss if you rely exclusively on that marker. So for turn fights they came up with this. Ironically, some pilots like the old-style gun sight, but on a number of F-16s you can't actually switch back to it. By the way, the guns in this game are deadly, and that's after they were toned down a bit. In the original Energy Airforce you could sink a ship with a good burst. The downside is their rate of fire, you can't really afford to waste any shots. Meanwhile, it seems that I'm going into space, or as far to it as I can get.
Can you see anything from your position?
The exact F-16C variant we're flying is probably a Block 50 because of the enlarged compartment at the base of the tail fin. And that is usually a consequence of installing more advanced radar warning gear, which was one of the Block 50 upgrades. Yet at the same time we don't carry any variant-specific equipment pods.
Gargoyle, say your state and proceed to next station. Target is at bearing 195.
Copy.
Of course, a plain old ordinary F-16 Block 50 did not have the JHMCS. That was installed as a part of a universal upgrade program called the CCIP, properly read CSIP, but I like my variant better, because it makes me think there is someone high up in the ranks of American military engineering who keeps making indecent proposals to people at the executive urinals, and then backs out of them by saying, no, I mean that we should call that new thing we're developing CCIP. In this case, the abbreviation stands for Common Configuration Implementation Program. It was a set of upgrades applied to most F-16 variants. The joint helmet-mounted queuing system itself is largely universal. It was installed on a number of modern US fighters, and most of its hardware is identical between types.
Unicorn 1, we're buzzing for now.
Roger that, Unicorn. Get clear ASAP.
And so we're heading back, and nothing else happens. Well, at this stage of the game anyway. Later on I did run into missions where an enemy flight might spawn as you are already heading home. In fact, I've even seen a second target flight spawn when we were 2 waypoints away from the final approach.
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 4. Target is at bearing 180.
Roger.
Okay, I managed to catch up with the schedule. Actually, I'm going a bit too fast now. One thing I noticed rewatching the recent missions is that whenever we start from the ground, we fly in a formation of 4 planes, and the 3 wingmen act as one, with 2 doing all the talking. Starting with the carrier, we get just 1 wingman.
Starburst, Gargoyle, picture please.
Negative tracks at the moment. Continue with cap, Gargoyle flight.
Copy, Starburst.
In other words, starting from the ground, we fly in the US Air Force Fluid 4 formation, and a carrier launch puts us into the US Navy loose deuce. And that's another thing Third One never bothered to model.
Unicorn flight, we show you at waypoint 4.
Starburst, copy waypoint data.
One advantage the F-16 has over the Super Hornet is the speed. Hornets can't do Mach 2 even clean.
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 5. Target is at bearing 060.
Roger. No spikes of any kind. Starburst, picture?
Gargoyle, picture is clean at the present time.
Roger.
Oh look, there's the sea. I wonder if I can fly freely across the entire map to take in the views. The game sure doesn't look like it's fencing us inside the mission area. The controller will surely complain, but that's the worst he can do. Do real Falcons actually come in white and light blue paint?
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 6. Target is at bearing 360.
Copy waypoint to home plate. We're on course.
Ladies first, Gargoyle.
Gargoyle flight, cleared on final. Switching tower. Tower checking in.
Gargoyle, we have you in sight. Continue inbound. Report 3 miles with the gear.
Nah, I'll drop the gear right now.
Tower, Gargoyle. 3 down and locked.
Gargoyle, clear to land runway 36. Winds light and variable. Gargoyle, we have you in sight. Continue inbound.
Unicorn flight, we show you at waypoint 5.
Starboard, roger that.
The horizontal plank on the ILS indicator just won't move up. I'm coming in too steep, but old habits die hard. This game expects very gentle approaches.
Gargoyle 1, check gear.
Oh shit, speed. Yeah, that's what I was saying about the gear retracting at 300 by itself. I'm still a bit too fast, but I'm going to kill speed by raising the nose. Looks good enough. And that's another flyable unlocked. In the first game you got this plane simply for beating a few missions on the F-16. I forgot to hit square to turn on the labels immediately. Yes, I started braking way too late. I should probably enlist my pilot into dirt track racing. Alright, we're clear and only a little bit embarrassed. By the way, if you're really fast, you can steer around the other 3 planes and take off before everyone else. But that would be silly. Action time. And there in the background you can see that the SAM site is the SA-19, which is good because they are armed with heat seekers and are harmless if you stay at altitude. That looked like it was actually a rare direct hit. So where is the last one hiding? And that was it. A perfect mission if you disregard all the fuck-ups. Alright, mission done. We are ready to advance to Stage 2. As usual, Stage 2 has 2 missions for us to choose from. I'll post the briefing maps in the thread and you'll take your pick. We'll be taking the Hornet. No, don't even ask about the A-10. I'd rather unlock it in a Stage 3 attack mission. And if you can't see the thread watching this video, you'll probably find out what they picked next time. Or you already saw the video titles in the YouTube playlist.